What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Welcome to this big old boat, the Mustang Mach 1. So this is a car obviously that was now added into the game. Obviously it was in, oh god, it was in some of the previous Forza titles, but now it's in this game as well. But I wanted to make a video on this because someone said that it's actually quite a decent and quite a fun drift car. Now what I want to do with this is, as you can see, its suspension is super soft, and it's just funny. It's just funny to drive like this. And I was thinking to myself, what if I keep this the same? What if I keep the suspension the same, or just as soft, but I just added a bunch of parts to it and tried to see if I can get this thing to be a fun, like, sort of really soft suspension drift car? Because again, it's interesting and it's different to drive, and I feel like it'll be a lot of fun if I do that. So, also, this, like I said, is one of the cars that now is at the 200 point mark for the season, for the series. And yeah, I think I only have like 5 more points, and I pretty much own every single car in this game. I think I'll make a video as well on the Vauxhall Carlton, Lotus Carlton, whatever you want to call it. I think I want to make a video on that because I think that would be very fun to drive. The Jag, not really. It's already kind of in the game. You already have the XKRS. That's just the XKRS GT. It's just a little bit faster, has a little bit more aero or whatever. That's pretty much it. But this Mustang is a little different, right? It's not a supercar, it's not a hypercar or anything like that. It's obviously big old muscle car, super old school, very old school suspension as well, which I think would make it really fun to drive around like this. So completely stock, this thing just rolls about everywhere, which I just find hilarious. I think it's just so much fun how it just like does all that. I want to try, like I said, and do a build on this thing, because right now the suspension is just on stock suspension. I want to put drift suspension, but I still want to have it so it's the same. So let's just have a look real quick at the springs. I mean, I wish that instead of the locks, I wish that, I mean, I know like these are all standard, like just halfway. I wish these would show you the actual like numbers, like not newton meters, yeah, newton meters, and like kilograms per whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but pretty much the force of the spring, you know, and the stiffness of the damper is pretty much what that shows. And I wish that was the thing instead of just having the little, you know, padlock that's next to them. But I'm gonna do somewhat similar setup with this now, so you can see that it's pretty high off the ground if I do that. I'm gonna put drift suspension just because I'll have more steering angle if I do that. Definitely gonna do weight reduction on this thing because I feel like it's gonna get 325 kilos is a lot of weight to get rid of with this thing. Yeah, anti-roll bars, I guess I'll put those on as well, see if they'll help. Brakes, I do kind of want some better brakes. That is true. Everything else here is then pretty much just added on with Forza parts. I don't really want to do any of that stuff. I feel like that's gonna be a little bit cringe if I add all that stuff on. Don't really want that. There are some aftermarket wheels that I could possibly go for, something like this. I like these work wheels. Again, I'm turning this thing to a drift car, so don't expect me to use any like crazy wheels here. That look very close to the original. I do want to keep some of this originality. I kind of still want to have some nice like this paint. I'm still gonna keep the paint on it because it has Mach 1 written on the sides and everything like that. And I think if I do go and I change the paint, my game will crash. So hopefully, if I just leave it alone, I don't do anything, that the game won't crash. I kind of like these American racing wheels as well. I think they kind of suit this thing. So I'm gonna put them on. As for our tires, obviously stock tires with this thing. I'm gonna keep this rear wheel drive, so I'm just gonna squeeze out as much power as I possibly can out of it. But I'm also gonna keep this like rear wheel drive, like I said. So I think drift tire compound would probably work the best for me. Here on the front we got 225s, and on the rear we have 225s. Let's give this slightly wider tires. We'll do 255s on the rear, at least. I'm still gonna give it, like I said, a dumb amount of power. I'm not gonna engine swap it, I don't think. I kind of want to keep it with the engine that's in it now because I like the old schoolness of it. It's got 611 newton meters of torque, so it spins its rear wheels pretty easily. 376 horsepower. Like, this is completely stock. Like, this is without me changing anything. I also could just supercharge it, so we'll have even more power and more torque, and it'll sound good too. I'm gonna supercharge it. I'm just gonna do that. Definitely not changing it to all-wheel drive. Definitely not doing that at all. Pretty much just buy everything so I can actually customize it, or not customize it, but actually tune it. Off-road there because that just locks it immediately anyway. And then we'll go with pretty much maxing this thing out. So give it as much as this game allows me to. What's this sound like? I'm trying to rev it. It's not revving. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's a lot more resonance. Like, you can hear, like, sort of the weird, like, metallic sound of that exhaust, the straight pipe, or whatever it is in this game, but you can definitely hear it. It's less muffled, pretty much. Sounds good. I like it. I do like it. 700 horsepower, 957 newton meters of torque. That is going to be a lot for those rear wheels to handle. 1,371 kilos. So I think we should be fine with this. It's A-class. Again, I think with the suspension, I'm going to fully just soften as much as I possibly can. I think everything I'm just going to get to be as soft as possible. And I might raise the ride height a little bit as well. Just to... Okay, so I'm going to lower everything, put everything on soft. It just looks funny when it drifts like that. I think it's hilarious. But I'm going to raise the ride height as well a tiny bit, because if I want this thing to lean properly, if it's as low as it possibly goes, then it's obviously not going to be going much lower, you know? So if I raise it just a tiny bit, I don't even need to raise it by a lot, just enough. Rebound stiffness, I'm going to keep this really, really soft. We'll see how it drives. I think I may need to change some of these settings just so I can then... yeah, and that's fully locked. Okay. I don't know how this is going to drive. I really don't. I need to change some stuff on it. But this is pretty much what... I can't even... I was about to go into designer page for no reason whatsoever. This is pretty much what this thing looks like. Sounds good. It looks good too. That steering angle definitely helps a lot. It's not as boat-like as it was before. Again, like I said, because it's super, super low, you're not going to see it go any lower, but it does lift a lot more because of how soft I made my dampers. That is so funny. Alright, I'm going to lift it as high as it possibly goes. Another about 5 centimeters? Okay. Oh my god. So now it should lean a lot more. It does go down, but it doesn't go down by that much. I thought it would definitely dip down a lot more because I've raised the right height. Or maybe my logic is flawed here. No, it does actually dip down more. No, I was right. The back end definitely goes down a lot more. It's a bit too high though. It doesn't look great. So I'm gonna lower it. I'll bring it down to about halfway. I'll bring it to about 20. Oh god. So like I said, someone told me that this is actually quite a fun car to drift with. I want to see that lean. Yes. Oh my god, I'm even like am I tripoding? I'm even tripoding a little bit on the front end here. That is not touching the ground, I don't think. I think that has just lifted off the ground. That is jugs. That is really, really jugs. What a cool thumbnail, though. Look at this. Jeez. Alright, cool. Anyway, let's go actually drift this thing. I'm gonna bring down a mountain and try it out with the setup. How much it leans, it just makes me laugh. It's just way too funny. Alright, let's bring this thing down a mountain and see what it drives like. I love drifting or like building stuff like this every now and then. I just feel like it's so fun to have like super soft suspension. Oh. My controller, for whatever reason, it didn't click for me to change gear, and then when I pressed the change gear, it changed into second. So it double clicked. Brilliant. So it either doesn't do it or it double clicks it. Anyway, let's try this out. See if this has too much grip or not. This lean might actually help me with weight transfer, so I think transitions with this car is actually going to be kind of good to do. I think they'll flick me really, really hard. Okay, definitely not enough power for 5th. 4th is doing a good job though. I can keep some long slides in 4th. Oh, sounds great from the inside though. Sounds really good from the inside. I like that. It's actually quite easy to drive. It's quite nice. I may need to change some settings here and there, camber and tow and all that sort of stuff, but overall, without much being changed on it, yeah, it flicks me so hard when I'm transitioning with this thing. Because the suspension is so soft. It's like there's a little wind, like it, you know when you're trying to, like when people like wind up before they punch someone, it just feels like that. It feels like it's about to wind up and then it transitions. And it just hits really hard. It's just funny, the way it feels to drive. Like I said, it's fairly easy to control. There's nothing like really, you know, foreign about it or anything like that. It still just feels like a regular car to drive. But the suspension just makes it a little bit more fun. A little bit different. I like the brakes. I think the handbrake is really, really good. It works really well with this thing. I think the tire width is perfect. It could use a tiny bit more power. I wish I had. Just a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit more, so I can stretch these slides out just a little bit more. Just a little bit. I think a little bit of... If I mess around with my toe a tiny bit, I think I could be able to stretch these slides out a tiny bit more. This is what I'm saying, like I want a little bit more power, because I wish for some of these corners I would just go into 5th gear. I just push myself along. 4th gear right now is, the way it's accelerating, it's very smooth. I think if I stretch my gears out a little bit more, then 4th gear will become pretty much obsolete. It'll go limp, just like 5th. And if I make my gears shorter, then 4th gear would be bad, and 5th gear would be just a tiny bit too long, I think. So the way these gears are set up right now, they're nice. It's just the car, like I said, needs a little bit of extra power, just a little bit. So I can kind of link these like longer corners to get it a little bit better, and I'll have to transition like mid-corner, if that makes sense. So not mangy my way in the corner, or not mangy my way in these like longer corners, but like actually slide the entire way around. It's a fun car to drive, like I said. It's good. I love how soft it is. I love the really, really soft suspension. I'm gonna get out of this because I don't really want to go in there. Well, everyone, I guess this was the Mustang Mach 1. If you want to get one of these, I highly recommend trying it like this. What am I doing? What's happening? It's such a cool car, and obviously if you guys have any crazy setups or tunes or anything like that, go ahead and put them in the comments of the tunes video. You know, if you have anything specific for this car especially. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a really good drag car, you know, or something. I don't know. I haven't really tried it yet, but since I'm quite decent at drifting, that's pretty much what I ended up building this thing for, because that's what someone has suggested as well, because it's really, really fun. Interior looks crazy as well. It's just so old school. Let me turn around. Wait, which way is the sun facing? This way. That is so old school. Cool. Alright, well, I guess that's it for today's video. Thank you everybody for watching. I really do hope you enjoy it. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, then please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'm definitely down to try out some crazier and weird builds and soft suspension, SUVs and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the Mustang Mach 1 was a fun car to try and test out like this. Yeah, like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.